Good evening, and this is the news.
It's not actually the news.
Is it another one?
No.
That's the wrong one?
That's the wrong one.
Because we've been asked to do the news.
We have been asked to do the news by...
And we've also been asked to do the weather. Do you
We
remember
have-
that time
yes.
we did do the weather.
We did do the
We
weather
did do
in
the
the
weather.
US.
We've done the weather.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Igudesman and Jew. We are not the news. We're not the weather, but we are failure and success. How to fail and succeed. A podcast.
Failure, success.
Yes. Anyway, so basically, who are we? We are musicians, essentially. We dabble in humor. We dabble in theatrical things.
And we double.
Double. And I play the violin. He plays the piano.
It's a good game, double.
What is that?
It's a card game. It's called double.
Double.
You should get out more.
Anyway, we are composers, we are arrangers, we are filmmakers, we are producers, we are idiots, and we love you, and we want you to subscribe. That's right, because we always forget to say like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Scribes.
We need
scribes.
We need more scribes.
Where would we be without the 10 Commandments? That took a scribe.
Exactly.
We need scribes.
And we need subs.
Had there been more scribes, there would be 12 commandments.
On the other side, we have the three amigos, the three wonderful people who, yes, you can see them right now. Hey, bravo!
Hey.
This is Yasha, Sabina,
Pancho,
and
Sancho, and Honcho.
Yes, and Ali or Alex or whatever his name is. So they are producer. They are other kind of producer in different ways, but a wonderful friend and part of our production company and wonderful pianist Sabina Zanova. On the left there's Yasha, and on the right it is Alexander Huben, who is a wonderful filmmaker.
Huben or Hauben?
Who cares?
Is it Hauben?
I think it's Alexander Huben.
Huben.
Huben. Who cares?
It's a Dutch name, and the Dutch people actually pronounce it differently. So
Huben is actually grammatically incorrect. It should be who is Ben.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes.
And talking about who is Ben, Ben is on the other side. You cannot see him, but he is doing our sound right now.
Ben Ladymore.
Yeah.
He needs more ladies.
Yeah, Benjamin Landymore, who is also a wonderful producer and composer, and I work with him on many soundtracks presently. Anyway, our main subject today on failure and success, on how to fail and succeed is, what is it actually?
I don't know. I thought you were taking the lead on this one.
That's true. Let me pull it up. On the road.
I think I'm going to do a podcast all on my own. Life with this guy.
Do I look like I travel economy?
What? No, you have to point it the other way around.
Do I look
what?
No, it's both.
Is it both? Okay.
Both sides.
All right. Well, you just never know.
On the road or home sweet home. What the hell does that mean? It just means we're going to be talking about touring and how to put on a tour, all the different components, and the pros and cons of touring. And on the other side, the pros and cons of staying at home and trying to earn your money at home in the different ways. Staying at home, staying at home, staying at home. We have a number that goes something
like that. That's true. Like that, It's called the Bee Gees.
Yeah. So also, of course, at any moment after you've liked and subscribed the video, you can comment and we will respond to you immediately or more or less immediately, because Sabina will
like
read
him
out
and subscribe to me.
Yes, she's going to be checking our comments and she's going to be...
She's our commentator. She's rather common. She's a commentator.
It's not that common.
She's a tater, but common.
Yes, she likes taters.
Yes.
Anyway, we will get to our main subject presently, but before we do, the fail of the week. So actually, the fail of the week, in a way, it's the technical fail here. Thanks to Ben, it's not his fault. It really isn't his fault. This is
why you don't see him, because he actually asked
hiding.
Specifically. Please do not show my face. I do not want to lose all these incredible jobs. Then yes.
Now the sound is wonderful, but the problem is we've had issues in getting the sound from the YouTube. So you will be hearing the sound from the YouTube coming from Hyung-ki's computer. You'll be able to see
Should I point the microphone towards the computer?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like this.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't really work.
Anyway, you'll be... This is so professional. But you see, what we always say in how to fail and succeed is sometimes the failures actually the things that bring you further. You learn from them for the next time. And sometimes it's even better and even funnier, because look at that. That looks really, really great.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Clip number 1 coming up right now. But first, these messages. Aleksey, you have hairy hands.
Yes, I do. Subscribe and like this video.
Here we go.
You see, I'm learning. Okay, let's check this out. Pretty cool. Amazing playing, by the way.
Great playing.
Oh! No! You're not getting my bow. Look at them. They're moving around.
Fantastic playing, though. Wow.
Fantastic.
Playing.
Who are they?
Who are they? We definitely have to find out
Does
who they are.
anyone know
Who are
they
these
are?
people? Because they're
Please
amazing.
comment because we want them in our lives. And also the fact that the boat broke, which is of course crappy and a tragedy, but they're kind of nonchalant and smiling while this is happening, and that's the way to go. If something is
They're great
amiss,
musicians, so they're just. I mean, yeah, it took a bow break for us to discover them. You see, so it's not so bad. things going
exactly,
on.
you see, and because of they broke the bow, the video is up on YouTube. Now we are discovering them, we're showing them to you, and they're going to be world famous because
You saw them here first.
yeah, you saw them here first. But actually, that happened to us too. I think your boat broke once,
My bow.
or was it mine?
Well,
Sorry.
you did break my violin
On purpose, though. That was
on purpose. That makes it okay.
that makes it better. It
Right.
does make it better.
Right.
It
on
was
purpose.
part of the show. Anyway, but unfortunately my bow did break once, actually in a concert with the Vienna Symphony Orchestra of all people, it was of course crappy and very sad because I love
the Vienna Symphony Orchestra.
No, they were very good actually. They it was not their fault, and we are super safe in our sketches. Of course, there's a lot of physicality happening, but that kind of thing can happen to anyone, as we see. I mean, that guy didn't do anything, and his bow broke. So anyhow, but luckily as well, I was insured. I had an instrument insurance, and if you want to know a very, very good one, we can tell you. Just write to us. Anyway, so
they should pay us some money.
They should
for that kind of information.
Actually, we should get more endorsements.
So many. There's to be so many.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
But
just send some money in the post. Just coins. Fine.
Anyway,
checks.
Our main
postal orders.
Subject.
Food coupons.
Today.
Vouchers for Amazon. Also fine.
First part.
Even old currency, because you can still go to the bank and the post office and change the old notes.
On the road. So, what does on the road mean? It means...
And now, English lessons with Aleksey Igudesman. On the road.
On the road.
The preposition on.
No, it's... why did the chick... Oh, I just heard a new one. Why did the camel cross the road? Because there are no chicken in the desert.
First of all, to say that grammatically correct, you'd have to go, there are no chickens in the desert.
English lessons with Hyung-ki. Anyway, on the road, and what you need to know about touring. Basically, the first thing you need to do is
have a tour.
Yeah. how to even get the concerts.
Yes.
So the very first thing is booking. Actually, and that's management. And we did actually have, I believe we had already a podcast where we we're talking about managements and money and all of that, those different things. So you can check it out. We'll have the link down below, of course. So we will not go into depth as we did back then, but basically booking concerts. So the first thing you need to do is to find a booking agent or a management, which is very difficult at the very beginning. So actually, very often,
or you book them yourself.
Exactly. You can just simply start off like checking out what kind of hall is right for you, or what kind of room. If you're starting off like as a smaller, not yet famous artist, just check out maybe the kind of size that you think might be fittable for you, and simply pick up the phone, call them.
Fittable is not an English word.
Hmm.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Anyway, so call them or write to them. I mean, that Sabina, actually, I have a question to you as well, because you, of course, you've performed a lot with your trio clavis all over the world by now. But I remember very much how you started off, and of course, you know, you were contacting a lot of the presenters yourself at the beginning, right?
Yes. I don't know how much am I.
But I don't think you can hear
does the
from them.
microphone
Yeah.
not work? You have to shout.
Yeah, you have to
You have
shout.
to scream.
I think we spent about 2 years
Yeah.
of almost every day calling, contacting every concert house, a concert venue, every little room, every festival that we thought of, and included like some neighborhood, small cultural center
Yes.
in a village of 100 people, and Carnegie Hall. We wrote everywhere all the time. I think we never got any replies from anywhere.
No, but there was a little percentage. No, could you
No,
say?
not even percentage, but
Yeah.
whenever we had an opportunity, let's say somebody said, okay, we're so sick of you, maybe you can get a spot, I don't know, in some festival next year or so on. If we had that opportunity,
You would grab it.
we over prepared so much, we advertised it so much, and we tried to kind of invite lots of other people that were maybe around. So we used that opportunity. It was never just we invested immediately all the money that we were getting from it. We invested in videos of that concert,
Fantastic.
and materials. So it was like that for the maybe first 3-4 years of
Yes.
our career. We put every possible energy and any income.
Put all your
into
eggs in one basket,
doing-
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
that.
But it's great to hear that we did exactly the same. I did it with several ensembles at the beginning with my string triology, and of course as a Igudesman and Jew, we did the same thing. We called, we messaged. Also, I'm sure you have friends. I'm sure you have friends who have friends. And very often those friends of friends of friends have connections in certain halls. Think of every single connection that you can have. Of course, I was helping you as well, obviously. So you were using my connections. Whenever you have already just one little connections, it helps 10 times more than just, you know, a cold sale, so to speak. Of course, we have wonderful booking agents and managements right now. For example, for our US tour, we which is coming up. Actually, we have two tours: mini tour in Hungary, and
I am hungry.
yes. So you can see when we're actually touring in a couple of days, we're going to be in Hungary, and that's actually interestingly enough through our Italian management. Who cares, right? Anyway, they booked the Italian management Calma. They're wonderful, and we've worked with Stefania Bellotti for like dozens of years in a way, and Alessandro. What are you doing?
I'm just being calmer.
Anyway, so they are really fantastic management, and the other management is Dawn Music, and we have Anthony, who is just an incredible agent in the US, who booked us this tour. Actually, this tour we'll talk about that in a second, is a crazy tour, but it's not his fault because it's a Corona revival tour. Gigs that we were supposed to do in the last 2 years had to have been revived, and it's a chaos. Anyway, so tour planning, how close should the gigs be next to each other? Of course, in an ideal world, we would go to America and we would stick to East Coast or West Coast, or we'd do Midwest or something like this. And we've kind of managed to do that beforehand, more or less. But now, due to Corona, all that went out the window. So our tour is going to be all over the place. So we're going to be starting off. Where are we starting?
San Marcos,
San Marcos.
Texas State University.
Exactly. And so we're actually going to fly
near
in
Austin.
So we're going to fly into New York, and we're going to do a private performance. So sometimes when you're touring, what can help you in those off days, try to find something else to do, something that maybe can help you financially, something that would at least pay your airfare or pay your hotels or something like that. So we're doing a charity, a private charity. And then we're going to Austin. And then we're flying to Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Exactly. So Austin, then we go Santa Fe, then we fly back to New York just
For a few
for a
days.
few days, just for the hell of it. I'm going to be hanging out with some of our wonderful friends. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to be staying at Ujas Yo in the house, so let's party. She's going to be here in Vienna actually in a couple of days. Go to see her concert, Yuja Wang, the best. And then we're flying off to Kalamazoo Piano Festival, and then
The Gilmore Piano.
yeah,
Festival.
Gilmore Piano Festival in Kalamazoo, and then we are flying off to Los Angeles,
The Angels.
the city of angels, and we're playing in Long Beach. And then we're going back east, and we're going to go to Winston-Salem to play with with a wonderful orchestra there. Now, of course, that's crazy. It's insane because we're going there. In a way, that's how you shouldn't do it. But then again, our management and agency is not at fault there because we try to put those dates back together.
Also, sometimes beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly.
I mean,
You cannot always choose, but at least we're not flying over for just one or two performances. So that's already
which we have done a few times.
we have done, and actually we're going to do in the summer again.
Yes.
So that can of course happen. But try of course to book your performances together if possible.
Clumping.
Clump
them together.
It's a very
Generally
famous
a
term.
good advice in life to clump things together. Clump your emails, writing, receiving
Mhm.
together. Clump your cleaning up the house. Clump your opening letters. Whatever. Clumping.
This
It's
is
a good thing.
so fascinating.
Well, just because it's an idea that doesn't appeal to you, Aleksey, it doesn't
No,
mean
no.
that
No,
I
you're
shouldn't share that with
actually
our-
you are right. You mean basically you're doing similar things in one go. You mean
It's to put them all together in one go. It's a time management
tool.
tool.
Okay, cool. So when you do your washing for yourself, you also do it for 5 other people.
It's not quite clumping, but yeah.
So the next thing that you have is how do you get there? And that's the travel. How do you plan the travel? Now the travel, it really can get quite complicated. Do you fly? Do you take the train? Do you drive? There's a few rules for us, at least. Of course, when it's less than 4 or 5 hours to drive or to take the train, we try to take the train. In the US, trains don't usually work quite as well. Well, regionally, yes, but that does. In Europe, we do try to take the train. For example, in Hungary right now, in the next performances, we're basically just taking trains.
We're only taking trains to Miskolc and Debrecen.
Exactly. So we are really taking.
Debrecen, the home of the famous sausage, the Debrecziner.
Is it?
Yes.
Debrecen. Oh my
Debrecen,
God.
Debrecen,
I
of
never
course.
realized. That's
Yeah.
so exciting. By the way, like and subscribe, and you can comment at any time. Sabrina is here to read out anything you want to know. Anything around that.
Also, anything personal
And-
for me, always.
Yeah, exactly. You can ask Sabina to stuff about her too. So basically, we're going to take the train. However, whether it's train or plane, we have one rule. We always try to have one backup. Not try to. We always have one backup afterwards. So that means if we take a flight, we make sure that there's a second flight. If we catch that second flight, we still make the performance.
If
Or
not
the
a second
second
flight,
or second train.
a train or some other method
That
that we
we
would
are-
still
yes.
make it to the gig on time.
That we will make that. So try to remember to do that. I mean, and when do you want to arrive? Of course, in the dream world, we arrive comfortably the day before the performance. You wake up in the place to acclimatize yourself. You smell the smell of Debrecen, and you feel the feeling of the flowers of what's the other place?
Mixolch.
Mixolch and everything. Yes,
What do you do while traveling?
Sleep.
sleep.
No. Well, while we travel, it's a various amount of things. I mean, anything from sleeping to, if we're traveling together, that's where often a lot of the magic happens.
Exactly.
A lot of the creative
The
ideas
magic.
happen.
I love to write and compose and everything. So I love writing music on the road. Yes.
You know this moment when you're in a train compartment and there are people coming in and maybe they would like to come and sit next to you. How can you avoid people coming and sitting next to you on a train?
I've been on the train with Hyung-ki and Aleksey a lot lately, and
I think it's time to turn off the mics.
even if we're in
Cut
the
Yasha out.
thing with everyone, they rehearse so loud that people look all the time. They probably don't even realize they're sitting there like, I don't belong to them. I don't know them.
So basically, we go to be or not to be. That is the question. And
if we're doing that Shakespeare play,
if we're doing
yes.
this, which we haven't done so far, but
We almost did a Shakespeare-ish thing.
yeah, I think when
We were almost commissioned to do a Midsummer Night's Dreamy thing. Remember?
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it tomorrow,
Yes.
and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in that petty pace from day to day until the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Anyway, so we do a lot of our work on the train, on the flights. Sometimes on a flight, I would put on my headphones, open up my Sibelius. It's the writing program. We should be endorsed by Sibelius. That's what we should do.
He's dead.
True. No, I mean the writing program Sibelius. They're really great. Love them. I think I've talked about them before. Can we make a note, write to them, and tell them that we want them to endorse us? Anyway, Sibelius is a great writing program. So I would put on my headphones at the beginning of a flight and wouldn't even notice 3-hour flight, 4-hour flight. At the end, I put suddenly it's like, oh, please fasten your seatbelts and put away your computer. And that's it. That was the whole flight. I would be writing music, and it's a wonderful time to disconnect because I also really try not to connect, even though you may have connectivity on a train, but or on a plane. I try not to connect in order to focus on the different things. I think you found an interesting video, right?
Well, I just wanted to answer Sabina's question thoroughly, and so this is a little. This is the best way to avoid people coming into your train compartment.
This is from quite a few years ago, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sorry, here we go.
So we were literally doing that. I mean, you see, this is people like
Looking
walking past. Speaking of that, are they still walking past the compartment? Wait,
yes.
Listen.
Oh,
some people are still coming. It's not a joke. This is.
Okay.
So basically,
Can I just say something?
yeah.
Yes.
If anybody would like to see this and more, they might purchase the Little Nightmare DVD, so they can get all of these little clips, backstage clips of Igudesman and Drew.
Oh yeah!
Wow, what a great plug.
What a great
plug! I
love it.
That's crazy. I forgot about our own DVD.
Where can you even buy it? Where can you buy it?
Nightmare Music DVD.
And on the website.
You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on the website as well. Oh my God!
So like and subscribe.
And buy our
like
DVDs.
and subscribe.
Buy our DVDs. We have apparently. Well, not apparently. I knew this, but I forgot. Little Nightmare Music, our very first show, as a DVD with extras where you can see how to avoid people in a train compartment.
But also,
and lots of other stuff.
Also, you can see a lot of our shows on Music Traveler TV, musictraveler.tv, and you can stream them there as well, which is very exciting. Anyhow, we're moving on. So the next thing after the travel, actually one
Have
thing
you actually explained anything yet?
No, I think we're stuck. No, the traveling, of course, it's important to realize how do you travel, and where do you book your travel. So the traveling is important. Sometimes you can save money if you're. What were you laughing about?
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. We
Yes.
just got this super amazing comment.
Yeah, by whom?
If you're open for questions.
We are always
open. That's
always.
what we're here for. We would actually love more questions.
Yes.
Or better, Timothy Allen is interrupting.
Yes.
I interrupted the name of him. And
Yes.
he asks you, did you guys ever travel to a country for a concert
Yes.
and realize the concert is in a different country?
You know
did we do that?
That reminds me of a true story that happened, I think, in the 70s, where a hijacker broke into the cockpit of a plane and put a gun to the captain's head and said, "Take me to Cairo." With a gun, "Take me to Cairo!" And the captain turned around and said, "We are going to Cairo." So,
So yeah, we went and by mistake to
you
the
know,
right country.
I think
We've
we have made little mix-ups.
yeah, I
like
mean, we've
that.
gone like on a train and going into the wrong direction for a while. We've nearly missed it. We actually just recently you forgot your phone on a train
Oh yes, that's true.
because the announcement on the train is supposed to say we're going to, in 1 minute or 2 minutes we are arriving and
We
so
are
and so
arriving
so, so, so.
soon. Yes.
and and soon we're arriving into this and this station. So we were playing in
Murz.
Murz, right, in Austria, and the announcement said we are soon we're arriving in Murz, and were in Murz that second. We're like, oh my god! And it's obviously not a big train station. So we were running out, saying, grab this, okay, you take that, I take this, okay, I'm running there. So we grabbed everything except for his phone. And then, amazingly enough, he managed to get his phone back before the concert even, but that's for another story. Anyhow, how do you book your travel? How do you book your flights? Do you book it on Opodo or flybooking.com or one of
Check
these
Felix,
Check Felix and
Travel
everything?
Scanner. There's so many.
I plead no. For a very simple reason. We check on one of these because you can compare many different ones. Very often they may be like 5 or 10, even sometimes 20 euros cheaper than you would find it with the airline itself. But, and here is the big but, the problem with all those websites is if there's anything wrong with the flight, if you need to change it or the flight is delayed or changed or something like this, then you have nowhere to call and no one to communicate with. Because
Well, to be more precise, it's not all the sites like that, but a lot of those sites,
most
it's
sites,
true that if something were to go wrong, you would have nobody to communicate with. Now, just to be fair, there are some sites that offer the option of having an assistant that you can speak to, but that you have to pay an extra price.
where you might as well talk directly to the airline.
And if you did not check the box when you checked your flight to have the option of speaking with an assistant, you're screwed.
Exactly.
And you may not have even seen it.
So we check the flights actually on Check Felix and all of that, but we book them on the airline directly.
I think,
Yes.
Speak up, Yasha.
About that, remember when COVID started and you were in Turkey and
Yes.
you were on stage and Annika called me and said, please book them a new flight because those flights don't work.
Yes.
Those flights ended up working, so the flights I booked you didn't need.
Yes.
And I'm still trying to get the money back for that.
No.
It's 2 years now, and I still haven't. From Lufthansa I did, but from Turkish Airlines they still owe me like 500 euros.
No. Oh my
Because
god.
it was
No.
booked through Opodo. Because it was booked through Opodo.
Yes,
All I
because
had
it was
to
booked
say
through
was
Opodo.
Opodo.
So you see, they actually not Turkish Airlines. Opodo still owes you 500 euros.
Yeah, because
Ex-
Turkish
yes.
Airlines says they're not responsible for that.
Exactly. You see, so this is the problem you're going to have always. Nobody is going to be responsible for whatever. And one other thing about flights and everything, we really like to be loyal as possible to an airline, or actually to an airline conglomerate like Miles and More, for example, in our case, or Star Alliance, if you will, if you're flying United or something like this. So we're both gold, or in quite funny, it's called Senator, but only like in Austria and Germany. And so, if you're saying, oh, I'm a senator in the US, people will think, oh, what, you're a senator?
Well, didn't you once you got on a plane and you said, "But I'm a senator"?
Yeah, exactly.
And they said, "Well, we don't care, sir. You still have to put on the seatbelt." Whatever it was.
No, it was kind of a weird sentence. They didn't know what I meant by senator, that I was gold status and whatever. Of course, with those extra miles, you get a lot of free flights. I've been booking my holiday flights and other flights together. We've been booking with those free flights a lot of the time.
Well, I think the tip is make sure that even if you're flying some local flight, just join
those
the loyalty program.
Yes.
It's absolutely worth it, even
It
if
really
you
is
don't
worth
travel so much, because after a few years it all adds up. Now, some of these they have a kind of clause that you have to use these miles up within 2 years, or you have to refresh those miles.
Not all of them.
Exactly, but some of them. So some of them are lifelong, but some of them, if you don't fly within 2 years, then your miles will lose. Fair enough. but that's also one way that they can also get you to fly on their airline. But it's totally worth it because after a while you suddenly realize, oh my God, I have a free flight somewhere, or I can upgrade myself for free.
And this is also, if you're not a musician, doesn't matter who you are, basically, it really, really helps. It's a bit annoying to once subscribe to the system, but then it's really great. And you have a lot of advantages, which is the same for hotels, actually. So this is we're transitioning to the hotels that we use. We use Marriott Bonvoy. That's a big conglomerate of hotels. They have Marriott. They should be endorsing us. Likes and subscribe. No, seriously, they are really great. And we are both platinum. Actually, I'm close to being lifetime platinum on that in a couple of years.
God.
I know, it's incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. Oh
Wow.
my God, I'm even platinum ambassador
Wow.
service.
I wish I was like I could
Thank
just
you.
come up with emojis and stuff like like memes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well done. Wow. Incredible. Wow. My
Thank
goodness.
you so much. Anyway, but Marriott Bonvoy should be proud. I'm endorsing them. It is actually great. So why is it great? First of all, again, you earning miles or not miles, but whatever points on it. They never fall out like an airline. So you can literally even just use it once in a while, and after some years, you have some free nights which you can use with your points. But also for upgrades, and this really works. For example, as a platinum member, you have to stay more than 50 nights with those hotels a year, blah 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 blah. But they upgrade us not just to a little bit of a better room; they literally upgrade us to a suite upon availability, of course. So we've often booked like a measly little room and stayed in a fabulous suite, and that is definitely a big advantage and saves you a lot of money if you want to stay in suites. Yeah.
I'd like to, sorry to interrupt.
You are here to interrupt.
Thank you. That's why I just waited till the end of the sentence and just went in.
Yeah.
I'd like to pass on a question from
Yes.
Gabriel Karger.
Yes.
Hello. Oh, Gabriel Karger. Oh my
Yo,
God.
in the house.
We actually know this guy. This guy's a legend. He's a
Mm.
legend. Well, he's already a legend in my books, but he's a legend in the making. Anyway, go on. Let's pretend we don't know him, and I'll tell you about him afterwards.
Wonderful question.
Yeah.
How much do you have to change up the jokes / humor in your program depending on the countries you tour in?
We always do the same jokes. We never deviate. We don't care about our public. No, it's not true. Of course, we do deviate the jokes because the different
I wouldn't
countries.
say deviate. It's like
We feel the public.
ornament.
Yeah.
And we transpose.
We actually even adapt to languages.
Adapt.
We adapt to languages. For example, in the US, we speak English. So that's no, but we
With subtitles.
Yeah, of course we do have shows, and we literally do our shows in German, in Italian, in so many different languages that we've done in Spanish, but also French, but also we adapted slightly to the humor because, for example, in Asia, sarcasm and irony is not very strong. So certain things where we are saying, "Oh, well done," you would say that in Asia and think, "Oh, so he says, well done to you." But
Well, they wouldn't have understand any of this congratulating you on your Ambassador Lifetime Award.
well, they would have just thought they're congratulating.
Yes.
Not all the Asians, of course. I'm going to generalize, but generally, as in the Asian cultures, basically in a lot of the countries, you don't have the strong irony or sarcasm. It's just not
Because we're honest people.
Well done. Anyway, so yeah, we definitely do adapt to a certain extent.
Just have to mention, Gabriel Karger, this guy that just wrote this question to us, he single-handedly arranged and organized a benefit concert for peace where donations went to Ukraine. And he got a whole load of musicians. He managed to find us. He put it on the Musikverein, got support. I think he raised over 52,000 euros. And
cool.
He's just a 26-year-old violinist studying here in Vienna.
But he made this incredible thing happen. So Well done
Anything
there.
is possible.
Yes.
Everyone can be Rosa Parks. Everyone can be Greta Thunberg. But we don't talk about Bruno.
Hotels. When we're traveling, so should you stay in a cheaper hotel? Should you stay in a fabulous hotel? Well, depends obviously on your
Depends
budget.
whether you're Alexa or not.
Exactly, yeah. But I think also the question is, do you stay near the venue or do you stay in a good hotel further away, this or that? Of course, it really depends on you, whatever is best for you, I guess. But it's not bad to think of the pros and cons. For example, when you're traveling somewhere, you may want to see the place, even though the venue may be out of town. You say, oh, it's practical, I'll be there. But if you're staying there for a few nights, you're just going to the venue one time, maybe you want to stay in the center. Think about that. And then, of course, once you've got the gigs and you've got the travel and you've got the hotels and everything, I think you better promote your concert, because even if you don't live off the ticket sales, it will come back on you if you don't, well, maybe not sell out, but if you don't sell enough tickets. Now, how do you promote your concerts? Easiest way, number one, you start online, just like we're doing very often online. Of course, we do little videos and this and that, but often you don't need to promote in an obvious way. For example, in this podcast, we're talking about our Hungary tour, our US tour, as part of the example. So we are indirectly promoting our concerts, and you are able to do that as well. Basically, make up some kind of reason why you need to mention those concerts, rather than saying, come to our concert. I mean, you can do that as well. You do that as well, but as well, you can make up some fun stuff. What are you laughing about? So the promotion is pretty cool. Then fee. How do you negotiate your fees, for example?
I make them an offer they can't refuse.
Oh, so is that cheap or expensive? How much do you ask? I mean, how much are you worth? How do you
My
even
net worth on IMDb. That's a question that depends on so many factors.
Yeah.
It depends what is the cause, how many seats are there in the hall. Have you been there before? Is this a gig that's important to you to make connections for your career? Is this more just like something that you're doing to just make a quick buck?
Yeah, but initially you have to start with a price. How do you even determine what you get?
Well, I guess it's like with anything. You
ask around,
you
right?
scout around.
Mhm.
You find out what is the union scale. It's always a good reference point. Like what is legally, officially classed as a union scale fee. You ask what
You Google.
You
You
ask
ask friends.
what a student was received for a concert, and then if you have some connections to some of the bigger shots, you ask them how much they would make in a particular event, and then it comes down to some kind of self-reflection and self-assessment as to where you are on the ladder.
Exactly.
And
in the end, you just name it, right?
You name it. And generally, I would maybe suggest naming something a little bit more, because people are always going to try and negotiate you down.
Or not. And in the best
Yes,
case, if they don't, it's a win-win situation.
I've sometimes paid people more than they invoiced me, but that's just
because you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've done that when I felt as well. They deserve more for what they've done. So basically, the good thing is once people pay the price, even though that may be the first time that they've paid you, that's now your fee. It's your official fee. Of course, you may, if it's a higher fee, may not get that every time, but still, once you get it once, it's a precedent. The president of America. Yes, question.
A question from Sang Pak Hong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer performing in bigger cities or smaller towns?
It's a good question. Do we prefer to perform in bigger cities or smaller cities?
I think we're happy performing where anybody wants us.
You know where the best place to perform is?
The one that you can get to.
The one that you can get to.
The one that wants you.
The one that wants you. We heard that from Pavel Yevi a couple of months ago. Wise thing. that he said. Thank you, Pavo. Basically, it's in the end, it really makes no difference. Everything has pros and cons, but whoever really wants you, it's probably going to be your nicest.
At the end of the day,
Performance.
we'd rather play in a, and I know we're not the only ones, we'd rather play in a cozy town, full, enthusiastic, warm, attentive audience than in a big hall
With no people.
Yeah, that's empty or that has a cold reception. I mean, that's right.
It's true. But we do love playing in Carnegie Hall when it's full and people are screaming for you. It's pretty good as well. I mean, it is a nice feeling. I have to admit, there's nothing wrong with that. So. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's not always the best fee just because a town is big. Sometimes the smaller places pay you a better fee because they want you more. This is an interesting thing as well that you may want to know. By the way, just to get back to promotion and how important it is to promote your concerts to get back to get those halls full. Very often we also do work with some wonderful promotional companies, PR companies. So we have Diane Blackman in the US, who is a wonderful lady. We've worked with so many different people in different towns, in different places. You do pay money for it. It can be not so cheap. You can not always afford it at the beginning, but assess it wisely and do make use of it. I think it is worth it to invest that money as well. And I think one very, very important thing is when you're traveling on the road is to stay creative, enjoy life, experience your surroundings. Because why are you touring if you're not living? I mean, part of the touring is actually to see new places and have a good time, explore the culture, explore the food, and then go to hear local musicians and perhaps even collab with those musicians. You can collaborate with them if you check them out and there's a musician that you think is really cool. For example, we do that sometimes. We did that actually a couple of years ago, just before the pandemic. A wonderful musician called Hillary Klug from Nashville, Tennessee. And, we just reached out on social media and she said, yeah, cool guys. Yeah, sure.
She thought we were someone else.
Yeah, she thought it was someone else. No, seriously, we kind of knew each other from social media, obviously. She's a wonderful clogger or dancer, actually wonderful violinist, fiddler, who dances at the same time, and we actually shot a video. This is basically the second day we met.
Hillary Klug
Yeah,
actually thought about a piece or an album called Klugging or
Clogging.
Kluggers. Kluggers. I mean, there's
Klugging.
something in that.
Yeah. We should write to her. And of course, now through this collab, we invited her to perform with us in several different places. She performed with us in Nashville. She performed with us in Vienna, even, and she's going to join us in Düsseldorf in our concert cycle Stars and Freaks, which is going to be, next year. But anyway, let's watch a little bit of this video, which we filmed, I think, on the second day that we met her or something.
Yes, could be.
Yeah.
It's called The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah. This is me trying to do what she does. But I'm not very good, so she tells me to move away. I mean, it's really quite incredible what she's able to do.
You need loud shoes.
Yeah. She's actually a very, very good dancer as well. I mean, it's really in the clogging world, she is very respected. It's really quite astounding what she can do. So,
you know what's good is that she doesn't actually take up that much space. It's like a very small amount of square meterage that she needs.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Just one little thing.
A little thing.
Exactly.
It's kind of handy. Who needs the whole floor, right?
Yeah. So basically, she'll be a guest star and next year, but also we've got Stars and Freaks coming up this year still. We've got it on the 11th of June. We're doing Mambo Jambo in Tonhalle Düsseldorf. It's going to be an incredible show with two wonderful ladies who will be our guests on our next stream. But we'll talk about that later. Like and
But-
subscribe!
But there are actually
bit too aggressive.
3 lovely ladies joining us.
There are
for
3
Stars
love letters,
and
but
Freaks.
we'll get into that a bit later. So main thing on the road, have fun. Check concerts, go to cinemas, go to eat local food,
Museums,
and
have a walk in the park.
yeah. And for example, I cross-reference all the restaurants in different guides. I check out I book restaurants ahead. I'm so passionate about food. Find your own things in the different cities, explore the different. You're so blessed to be able to travel, especially after the pandemic. So make use of that. Yes.
So, on this subject, Emmanuel Mancios would like to know how often do you have time to visit the town you are performing in?
Never.
Never.
We-
We just don't
no.
have time. But this is for you guys.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
pros. We
yes.
don't we don't need that.
We
We've seen
do
it
it
all.
on Google 360 Earth, and we
We've-
already check it out.
Yeah, we've seen
And
it
we
all.
watch the documentaries. We watch the David Attenborough and Michael Palin
Much better.
documentaries
Yeah.
about.
We
where
don't
we're going.
sleep at night. We just watch documentaries
Yes.
about the cities we're in.
Yes.
No, of course, of course we do. We make sure to visit them. We make sure to go to art galleries. For example, I remember seeing the amazing Munch stuff in Münchhausen
Oslo.
in Oslo. In Oslo, actually, there's an amazing Munch exhibition now in Vienna. Here in Vienna at the moment, in Albertina. So yes, we do. So we are going to be, for example, we're going to be touring right now in Austin, San Marcos. So we're already exploring some of the restaurants we're going to visit. We've been there before. It's wonderful. In New York, of course, we have wonderful friends, but also incredible restaurants there. In Los Angeles, where we're going to see a lot of those places, see people, meet new people. We are going to explore that. So when you travel, please don't be one of those people who say, "Oh, I have to focus on my playing," because you're playing. You can play anywhere. You can play at home also, and that's where we quickly, I think, why don't we talk a little bit about the pros and cons? So we've been talking about going out on the road, but it's not for everyone. There's so much stress involved. But of course, you can do amazing things just living at home and maybe not touring so much, as most of you probably do. But there's so many possibilities to do and to earn money. Of course, there's teaching, and you can, of course, teach wherever you are. And again, teaching is similar to gigs. It's connections. Tell people that you want to teach. Ask people if they have any pupils. Ask people if they want to just try out to take a lesson with you.
A friend of mine once asked me, Hyung-ki, can I ask you for some advice? I've been offered this post to teach at this conservatory, and what do you think I should do? And I said, well, do you like teaching? And she said, no, I hate it. I said, well, listen, this is not for you. I mean, what are we discussing? So I don't think she took the position. Thank God, there are enough bad teachers out there.
Exactly. It's really, really important. And that's why, you have to like teaching to do it. Don't just teach because it's a thing to do. Sabina, you do quite a lot of teaching as well. You have some wonderful pupils.
I love teaching. I've been teaching since I'm 13 years old. The
Mm.
moment I understood something, I immediately wanted to say it to someone.
It's a great way of actually remembering stuff. The moment you learn something, you pass it on.
But not just also
Mhm.
remembering, but comprehending it properly, because you learn it a lot. And then, so yes, I've been teaching since I'm a teenager, and I do it with the greatest pleasure, and I still do it very actively, very often.
Of course, there are many local performances that you can have as well. You don't just need to go on tour all the time. But sometimes you have a small theater around you. Just check out what kind of theaters and landscape there is around you and connect with them. Maybe even go by there, watch a show, talk to the promoter, say, hey, can I play there sometimes? The good thing is you may not earn as much money, especially if you play in a smaller place, but you can play there more regularly. You can build up your own audience, and that's how we started. Actually, in Vienna, we were playing in Stadtinitiative or Metropole, very, very locally, and we tried out so many things. So it's great. Of course, there are pros and cons. People can get tired of you just always playing in the same place, but at the same time, like I said, you can build up your audience. And actually, you can even play in house concerts and try things out. For example, you are going to be playing tomorrow somewhere, right? And
yeah.
in Salon. Oh yeah,
I should be practicing.
You should be practicing. Salon Ehrenfellner, which basically Ehrenfellner, he's a friend of ours, and he has these house concerts, right?
He does, but luckily for me, basically he introduced this thing called salon concerts at his home.
Yes,
and his
I played that as well. Yeah,
you're right. And his wonderful wife would cook food, and just a lovely thing for people just to come, and they would just give some donations and hear music in his home. But then he has been moving home recently, and there's been some difficulties with moving home, and not quite settled in, and this and that, and then there was Corona. So they had to actually move some concerts to a nearby place, I think for once or twice, at the Stift Klosterneuburg.
So this is in Klosterneuburg, which is just outside of Austria,
Vienna.
outside of Vienna.
Yeah. Where the monks actually live, and
which is so fitting to you.
That's right. And the thing is, it went so well. It was such a success that I think they said, "Oh, but if you want to continue doing it here, you can." So I am playing tomorrow a house concert, but at the Stift Neuburg,
in a beautiful
place.
And you are actually playing a very classical program.
Yes.
Isn't that right? You're
I'm
playing
it's an all Schubert program.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, so nice. So nice. No, it's lovely. Actually, Winterreise you're doing, right?
I'm doing Winterreise with a wonderful tenor called Jan Petrika, actually one of the most...
Nice.
You know Jan?
Fans of Jan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
Jan
Paprika.
Petrika. He's
Love
one of the most incredible tenors, and playing also Schubert Grand Duo with a violinist called Katharina Lee, former student of Janine Janssen and Gerhard Schulz, and also performing the Forehand Fantasy with Yu Horiuchi.
Oh,
So-
fans of Yu Horiuchi.
Yeah, Yu Horiuchi is going to be our guest in our next podcast, by the way, which is going to be next month on the 29th of May, I believe. Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, 29th of May. So join us there. Don't forget, her and Lucy Landymore are going to be our guests. So that's very exciting. So you're doing a classical thing. Very, very cool. Yo.
Schubert, not for people who are in the Schumann camp.
No,
It's
more
Rolling
Schubert.
Stones, Beatles,
Yeah.
Schubert, Schumann.
Schubert. He's the Bert. Actually, I personally loved Winterreise so much, the song cycle. I even wrote out the text myself when I was 16. I don't know why, because I could have just photocopied it or the books, but I just decided to write down every single word from every poem for some reason. I have it somewhere.
Oh, can I have it?
Sure.
You can put it on the internet.
Yeah. Anyway, but of course, also you can become a content creator from home and earn money like that. Now, how is it possible? Definitely not the way we're doing it, because we have kind of fewer viewers at the moment. I mean, of course, we would love to expand that and everything. So share and subscribe. But
we're actually spending money to make this.
we
happen.
are, but
Yes.
but you
I
know,
don't know
it's
why.
well, we are doing this
To connect with you,
with
to have
you,
a dialogue with you.
because we love you.
We want the conversation. Please give us your questions. We want to interact with you. As people who have come to our concerts, you know that we love to take the time to meet and greet with you guys afterwards, whether there's signing opportunities or not.
So we don't
We
care
always
if
love
it's
taking
5
photos with you guys,
Yeah.
talking to you. So this is another way that we can just connect with you and just share some of our wisdom and crap that we've picked up along the way.
And we don't care if it's 5 of you watching or 5,000 watching. We're going to give you our all, as we do live on stage. And that's generally what content creators do. The successful ones, they're just doing stuff because they love to do it, but it's a whole science. We are not going to go into detail this time round, but we will definitely do one episode in the future about creating content, and we're going to have some exciting collaborations of content creators who we will interview, etc. One person who I've been lately in touch with, and he's a prime example of how you can make money from home through his videos. There's many different types of monetizing, through endorsements, through clicks and views. And this guy is called Rob Landis. He's a violinist, and he's created a whole brand and niche for himself. Basically, he has started to do different things. He started off with his first videos. You can see right now. We're going to
No,
show.
this is an ad.
Oh,
We
it's an
don't
ad, yeah.
know.
No. Okay, show
No.
the ads. But basically, he does game music, but on the violin, and he did a very very funny popular video, which garnered I don't know how many millions, 40, 50 millions of views, where he just played different types of game music throughout the recent decades. So maybe we
Here
can
we go.
watch a
All
little
right,
bit.
hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
So cute. Mario Brothers. So you see, it's such a cute, simple idea. So basically, he researched all these different game musics, and amazing, the makeup. I think he should be winning the Oscar. Rob, you should win the Oscar for makeup for that. Basically, Rob has expanded his repertoire. He does a lot of game music, but another thing is he uses Omegle, which is a platform where you can connect with people, and he just randomly goes up there and plays music for people. He tells people, "Oh, just name a song," and then he would play it with a pianist or on his own or anything like that. So that's really really cool way of connecting with public, building up your audience, and earning money through that. And we'll do a whole episode about that.
A question from Lone Ranger 22.
Yes.
Would you like to do a collaboration with Two Set Violin?
Of course, we know Two Set Violin, and we will definitely do some stuff together with them at some point. They've been to my place. They've been to our concerts. They're two great guys, very very sweet people, and I think what they do is what.
What are their names?
Brett and Eddie.
Yay!
Yeah, they're very very sweet. And yeah, I think we will at some point. And we'll probably even do something live one day in Singapore. So we were talking about different ideas, but we don't want to take away from that when we do it. They are perfect examples as well of how to monetize and make money. So maybe we should have them as our guests here or something. We'll see about that. The other way to earn money from home is actually to create content in the form of your own products. For example, you can do a CD, you can do DVD, or you can do an online course or masterclass. There are many different ways of doing that. You can start teaching online, of course, and there's a new platform that's been created on Idagio, where I'm going to be now present. Actually, this is the first time I speak about it. I'm going to have my own digital masterclass where you can interact with me, and it's a very humble title. It's called A Musician's Guide to Absolutely Everything.
I like the way you had to look that up.
I'm a pro. You see, at least I look. Anyway, so you can go online. It's on the iDash. We'll send a link, I think. Yeah, the link is below. Check it out. And I'll be telling you much more about that. It's going to be very exciting. I'm going to be able to talk to you, to communicate with you, and I'm going to be talking not just about music, but also about many practical details of
Like travel, like what to do on the road, like how to get a gig.
Now I'm going to be going
like how to create content.
Exactly. Now I'm going to be going a little bit more into detail. I'm going to talk a lot about creativity, and we're going to do a lot of creative exercises together. So join me there. And the big question here, finally, at the end: can one combine both? Can one combine a full rich touring life and have things going on at home? So create content, do different things. I would say yes and no.
Wow.
With that,
yes, join us next month.
No.
We talk about.
I think what's very important is not to forget that everything that you do is it has the potential to create some form of stress level. And the more different things you do, the more stress you can get. And of course, focus is good. However, diversifying yourself is also very important, especially in this day and age. So the question of can one do it all or can one do many different things perhaps is one that you should ask yourself and also find out maybe a way of doing that.
Basically, find out what is your window of tolerance.
Yeah.
You make a little square and you go from 1 to 10 and you really want to be between like 3 to 7. If you go towards the 8, 9, 10, you're going towards burnout. If you go towards 1 and 2, you're in bore out. And you want to give yourself little checkups. Am I going too far? Am I burning myself out? Or do I need more action? And you need to have good self-reflection and good self-checks and generally regulate your stress, self-regulate basically as best as you can. If you find yourself that you're making a lot of mistakes, you're being very erratic, you're being hot-tempered, then maybe you're taking on too much on your plate. And if you're just lethargic and sitting around the couch and not picking up the phone, then maybe it's time to get up and jog and start sweating and doing something proactive.
Do exercise, like and subscribe. I think that's really the main lesson.
One
today.
exercise is this. The
yes,
like
the
and
like
subscribe
button.
This is
Exactly.
some
Yes,
movement.
like yeah. Actually, there's 2 buttons. There's like, so subscribe,
Yes.
and then
Great. So
also
now you get
the
to channel your left
the
and right
notification,
brain.
and then there's the notification
Yes.
that you notify that every time that
I've
we
already burnt 4 calories.
yeah, exactly. We are coming to see you if you live in Hungary very soon.
Or whether you're hungry.
Yes, exactly. So in the next, we have 2 performances coming up, and then we're going on the US. Sabina, is there another little comment towards the end? Yes.
Go for it. Let's finish with questions.
Yes.
Mm.
So bringing back to the travel subject again, with
Mhm.
many hugs from Mariana Buslechna. She says, "Does someone book your hotels, or do you book them by yourself?"
Well, it's a mix. Very often, people do book their hotels. We try to we actually give the promoter very often our numbers of the Marriott rewards number, so they can book it through our number, so we get the points. Sometimes they book it, sometimes we book it. Sometimes a concert hall would have their own partner hotels. In that case, we can't screw around. We just stay there. So it really is a mix. It depends also on your own personal preference, but especially if you're just starting to tour, don't screw around too much. If you're becoming one of these difficult artists who's like, oh no, I only stay here and I only travel like this, people will not want to book you. So make it easier, but make sure you're still comfortable. It's a kind of balancing act, and that's basically what we're going to be doing in the US.
Okay. Next question from Adam Tomaszewski.
Yes.
Fazelsai or Lang Lang?
Fazelsai. I mean,
This has nothing to do with the subject, Adam Tomaszewski.
Fazelsai or it's a bit like saying, Turkish food or Chinese food. Says, well, both is wonderful. You have incredible, delicious Turkish aromas. Right? I mean, you have incredible restaurants in Turkey, and Chinese food. You have Beijing duck. You have incredible things. You have so many wonderful dishes and food. So you can't even compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges, right? I would say. But definitely one.
Yeah.
No.
One more question
Yeah.
from Timothy Allen.
Timothy Allen, again.
Again, yes. Would
The
touring
actor?
be possible for an introvert musician who doesn't like to perform in public?
Yes, but then again, why? Of course it's possible, but why do it? If you don't like to perform in public, why do it? You have amazing opportunities like never ever before to create digital content. If you want to push yourself and go outside of your comfort zone, very recommendable, do it, but start doing that at home. Do small performances at home. Do that larger.
It also depends on what your concept of performing is, or what your concept of being a musician is. If your philosophy is to give joy to people and to make music relevant for the community, you don't have to be performing in some big concert hall. You could really go and play for the elderly or the disadvantaged or people in prisons. There are schemes like Live Music Now, for example. You can go play in schools. You can You play at deaf schools, blind schools. I mean, there's so many people who don't have access to music, and maybe in those kind of arenas, those kind of environments, you may not feel that same pressure where you would have to be extroverted, or that you would have to be on some level that where you would be judged, because you will not be judged. You'll only be appreciated. So if performance is something that tickles you, but you're worried about the fear of failing in the sort of gladiator stage, there are many other ways you can be a musician.
And this very beautifully said. And also, don't forget, like Hyung-ki mentioned, there is no such thing as failing, because don't let yourself be pressured into the world of success and failure, because in the end, you decide what that is for yourself. If you want to play music, don't let anyone stop you.
As Florence Foster Jenkins said, they can say, I can't sing, but they cannot say, I did not sing.
So that's very, very important. So we are coming to the US. We have all the tour dates. Of course, you can check them out. And we are coming back to you on the 29th of May. We will have two wonderful guests. We'll
be back.
We'll be back with this podcast. This podcast is, I don't know why I'm doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Get out. So we will be back to perform for you live, and that's so stupid. We should do one whole live podcast just as Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
If we could do it well,
We should get him
Yeah.
as a guest.
Yeah.
We should get him as a
Yes.
guest. Yeah. So
It's not big enough.
we have one more grand announcement before you leave us. Please don't leave us yet, because we have a new web series called Portrait of a Freak, based on our Stars and Freaks series in Turnhalle Düsseldorf. And the very first video is going to be dropped on Friday, the 6th of May on YouTube. So that's in whatever, 12 days or something like that. And it's going to be very exciting. We're going to be starting to tease it, like today is the first teasing of it. It's going to be very, very, very beautiful and beautifully shot by Altruiste, a wonderful production company in Cologne. And so
they smell good.
yeah, they smell. Yeah, is that a joke about
Cologne.
Oh.
It's okay.
Oh, the cologne. Oh, the cologne. So it's going to be something quite exciting, actually, because we're going to have that new web series. I want all of you to watch it on the 6th of May. We will tease it. And the first 10 people to comment, please write to us as well. There's an email where you can write. The first 10 people to comment on that new video will receive a free signed DVD of a DVD that you cannot even order online. We have a DVD called Upbeat with the Vienna Symphony Orchestra. You cannot get it online. You can only get it live at our concerts. And the first 10 people who are going to be commenting on that new video will
you
receive
sure about
it.
that? What if they're like in Australia and
We don't care. We're personally going to fly. You're going to fly there and deliver it
my
to them.
God,
Hand
okay.
deliver it
All
to
right.
them. So that's going to be. So please like and share that video. And also the 100th person who will share will receive a signed CD and DVD from us and free concert tickets. So it's going to be very exciting. So like and subscribe. Love us. We'll be back next month again. And now should come some kind of outro.
Oh no!
music.
I've got it.
You prepared an outro
I've got
music?
it ready. Here we go. Yeah,
And when
you ready?
and once you start the music,
yes.
you're gonna.
Well,
No, he
knows.
can't. He
We
can't.
only have one microphone.
We only have one microphone.
So this won't work. This
Oh
time.
no, it will work. So you can put on the music as loud as
Put on the
possible,
music
and then
as
we
loud
will
as
just
possible,
mime.
and then we just mime. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
so I turn on the music.
Yeah. Put it loud.